Guten Tag. This is the Junghans Automatic Max Bill 27/3400 Bauhaus designed dress watch that is just something else. Now we're going to have a little tour of this watch together, so we can have a look at the features and the design. Oh, hang on a sec. Now this is a real fingerprint magnet. It's so beautifully made, polished and shiny and pebble-like, but it's difficult to get it so it's not got fingerprints all over it. Okay, let's have a little look at some of the details. So before I go into the physical details, I'm just going to tell you it's got a J800.1 movement. Now, I believe that's a Junghans in-house movement, and it's got 38-hour power reserve, and you can see that it gives the second hand a pretty smooth sweep. I'm just letting you look at it really because it's so lovely. Now it's got a plexiglass crystal there, incredibly domed. Can you see the shape of it there? Like a little UFO. And the case itself is sort of stepped, and it's highly polished, and it's got this sort of step that gives it a crystal-like glimmer in the light. As you keep going around, then it turns into this sort of pebble on the back with just, oh, there's my fingerprint again. Ah, sorry about that. With designed by Max Bill on the back there, and it's got some writing. So it says all stainless steel, 27/3400, 1411/0904. I don't know what that means. Junghans, Germany, and that's it. The crown is unsigned. It's a little affair. And I put it out to the first stop. There's no date on this, but I think that they've kept the movement from those that has the date, so it's a sort of ghost date setting. Take it out to the second, and it's a hacking movement, so the second hands do stop, set the time, and then push it back in. So I imagine at midnight there's going to be a little click, audible click, as the date changes underneath the dial that has no date aperture. That's a little bit annoying. To me that suggests that they've cut a few corners, because ideally the dial has no date, the watch has no date, there's no aperture on the dial, therefore the movement shouldn't have any date. Anyway, it's a little bugbear, it's not too important. At the bottom there we can see made in Germany. Now the font is what this watch is partly about, and if you look at all the digits there, they're all beautiful in their own right, but it's that number 4. Look at that number 4. That's a glorious little number 4. Very, very nice. Apart from that, we've only got Junghans Automatic written at the top there, and all my fingerprints, as you can see. Now the digits are loomed, and I'm just going to charge it up under the light. Now the digits are loomed and the hands are loomed. Now as I'm going to quickly switch the light off. Oh, you can't really see because the camera adapts too quickly. But the hands loom is pretty good, and you can read the watch all night with those hands. The numbers themselves fade quite quickly, but it looks cool in the dark. I'll give you a few measurements now. Quite large for a dress watch like this. It's relatively large. We're talking 38mm. So that's quite large, isn't it? The lug width is 20mm, and the thickness, look at that profile, that profile is fantastic. And those lugs, the way they shoot downwards like that, beautiful. So it's difficult to measure that, but it's 1 just under 1 centimetre, 10 millimetres thick. Lug to lug I should do as well, shouldn't I? 439, 40 millimetres. Now there's different varieties, different flavours of this watch. There is one without the numbers and longer dashes and a date and silver dial. I'm just going to give it another polish because of the fingerprints. There's quartz, there's hand winding, there's a whole variety, whichever takes your fancy. This can be bought second hand, relatively cheaply, although not huge. You don't get a huge saving over the brand new price. They're still very desirable watches. Now this comes on a Junghans leather bracelet, leather strap I should say, which is fine. It's not very exciting. It's a little bit thin and dressy for my liking. I'm going to put it on for you and you can see. So that's it on my 7.5 inch wrist. Looks good. But the strap is too dressy for me. I put it on something a little bit more military or a little bit more rugged looking, but that's just personal taste. Please subscribe, folks, for more watch videos, knife videos, etc videos. Comment below. Is there anything you'd like to chat about this watch? Please don't complain about the lighting. It's really difficult with these highly reflective watches to get the lighting right, and especially with all the fingerprints that they love to collect. So yeah, subscribe, like, comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, folks. See you soon.